And hello, everybody. I am so blessed to have here today Don Watson, who was just in the new movie, I'm Not Your Guru with Tony Robbins. And so many people have been reaching out and wanting to learn a lot about Don and what happened before the movie and what happened after. So I was blessed with the opportunity to do this beautiful interview here with Don here today. So I am so excited. And Don is out in Brazil. And
Yes.
we only have an hour here, so we're going to go through this very quickly. We actually had to rent a cafe because the internet is very hard to come by out there in Brazil. So Don, say hello, everybody.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. You guys have no idea. I've been for days, speaking with Dennis and expressing to him how important this interview is for me also, because it's my chance to also share with all of you. It's been, almost 2 years and everything I've gone through and all the experiences. And even after this launch, everything that I've been receiving from people. And I'm just very, very happy that I get to be able to share with all of you now, almost 2 years later, how my life is and a little bit of my experience after Date with Destiny and how I got to Date with Destiny. So I'm excited.
And I'm excited too. So I guess we'll jump right into this. Don, a lot of the reasons, talk about first why you decided to go to this event. I mean, I know from what I understand, it's been quite a calling.
Yes. Well, it's really funny, actually, the whole story about getting to the event, because from a little bit of what people saw in the movie, I expressed that I had left a commune that I had lived in almost my whole life when I was 12, 13, and then after went through a moment of searching, understanding myself, a lot of a confusion, and then I entered into another commune when I was 15 until I was 19. So I literally started to, my life actually began when I was 19, where I started to be able to put pieces together and understand a lot of things that were still, very, very confusing to me. And entering into society for the first time, because these communes, you've been locked up and you've been mostly living into a reality that's not the reality that when I stepped out into society, I'm like, wow, this is a whole different reality.
World.
And it's a whole different world. And how am I going to cope with it? Not feeling like I didn't fit in anywhere. I didn't fit in where I left. And I didn't fit in this new concept, in this new world, in this new society. And so I really began a journey towards trying to understand myself, trying to understand the pain I was going through, trying to understand everything that people were saying about love, about life, about religion, that were all contrary to the things I learned my whole life. But, it was so many different things going on that I literally went through a lot of difficulties trying to do soul searching and finding the answers within. So when all of that happened, I'm going through all of these things. One of my friends told me, look, you've gone through so much personal, soul digging, and you have so many enlightening things that you've learned through everything, and how you see life and how you see love and how you see religion. And you really sound like someone that's called Tony Robbins. And at that time I said, I want to find someone that can help me understand more about everything that I went through so that I can be able to help other people, because that's what brings value to me. That's what makes life make sense. And so that day I never heard about Tony Robbins. I got back home and I started to watch every single video that he had posted and everything he was saying. And for me, it just blew me away, because first, everything that he was saying resonated and was things that I had done and I had lived and I had thought, and that really helped me get back to myself. And second was, I saw a man on a mission helping thousands of people and really connecting with them in a soulful level, which I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is everything I want. So at the time, I looked up the people that were selling his events, and a lot of them were very expensive. And at the time I had no conditions of buying it, and I spoke with one of them and I said, look, I really, really want to go to an event where I can connect with Tony. And so he gave me all these options, and I said, no, I want the one that he is 24/7, where I can have a better chance to connect with him. And so he said, okay, well, there's Date with Destiny. He's every single day there. He's working with people. I think that's going to be a great event for you. But then when he told me the price, I'm like, oh, he's like,
that's a pretty expensive price.
It's really expensive. And so for me, I was like, that's it. I can't do it. It's way too expensive. There's no way. So I thought of other ways of, telling my story and talking to him and putting in a pen drive and mailing it to him or doing something. And I spent a lot of time trying to connect with him on Twitter, because they told me that in Twitter it was the way that I would be able to speak with him, but I had no response. And so I was like, you know what? I cannot wait anymore. This is the most valuable moment for me. In my life, I was in a moment of complete desperation of, I need to find a way to connect with people that can understand me and connect with love and connect with someone that is authentically doing something amazing to help change lives and is really authentic and real in what he does. And so I said, you know what? I am selling all my furniture. I'm, getting every last cent that I have. I'm going to put it all together.
So you literally sold all your furniture, like literally.
Yes. I moved from a little apartment that I was living in. I was now renting just a room, so I can be able to have enough money to get this ticket. I was able to get it. I never forget the day I called Garrett, which was the sweetheart that sold me the ticket. And I said, Garrett, we did it. We got it. I have the money. Let's pass the car. Let's do it. And it was amazing for me, just the excitement of being able to finally go there and look face to face and eye to eye with this man that I had seen on the internet, that I immediately had a soul connection. And so a lot of people thought I was kind of crazy and, what are you doing? And how people think. But in my mind, there was no doubt whatsoever that I was going to go to this event and I was going to speak with Tony Robbins. So getting there, it was...
So your main goal was to get there, not only just to be at the event, but you had to speak to Tony. That was kind of like your mission.
Exactly. For me, it was more about, I need to speak to this man, because I learned that he studied, I don't know how many people all around the world. If there's someone that can understand me, can understand my past, can understand my story, can understand how to rewind from all of the mental manipulation and pain and things that I've gone through, and can help me help others, it's him.
Right.
So I didn't even study about what Date with Destiny was. I had no clue what Date with Destiny was. I just knew it was the event that he was going to be there most of the time, so I had a better chance to speak with him.
This was a mission. This was a mission, not a...
Yes, definitely. I definitely was on a mission. So when I got there, I don't know if, most of the people that are listening to this probably have experienced a Date with Destiny, but it's very, everyone's like, whoa, high five, everyone's screaming, everyone's hypered up. And I in no way was in that moment. I really wasn't. I was a woman on a mission and I needed to connect. And so many people were like, you should be smiling. Come on, high five. And I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want, I'm okay. I just want to speak to them. And whoever I would say that to would laugh at me, like, come on, Don, everybody wants to speak with Tony, that's kind of impossible. And my roommate was like, Don, I really appreciate and love you, but, just to take a photo with him, it's $500 to help his project. So, and I was like, no. And I remember when she told me that, inside I got so disappointed, like, what? But then, again, I was like, no, I gotta make it. I made it all the way here. I know the sacrifices and things I've done to be able to be here, and I'm connecting with him. So a day or two passed, and I was in a lot of emotions and feelings, and it was funny because I always thought I was going to be close to him, but I was always in the back, and there's thousands of people, and so every time I'm like, I'm so far away from him, I can't even reach, because I brought a pen drive to like throw in the stage if I wasn't able to talk to him. I'm like, I can't even reach from all the way back here, and I was just so emotionally in so much struggle. And then I ended up getting really sick, which I usually do when I'm in a lot of emotions. And one of the coaches, I expressed to them that I was feeling really sick. I had fever all night. And then the doctor came up to me and said, look, there's thousands of people here. You cannot attend this if you're sick like that. Either you're going to wear a huge blue fluorescent practically mask, or just attend next year. And that was the end for me. I think I just exploded. I just started crying and crying and crying. I said, I'm already feeling awkward in this environment. You're going to put a huge blue thing. I don't want that. I said, I just need to speak to Tony. And I remember, they were looking all at me. I'm like, I just need to speak to him. And, and I said, I cannot come next year. You don't know what it cost me to be here. Please don't do that. And so I talked to one of his coaches, and we stayed, they were such sweethearts. And I got one of his coaches and I sat down with her and I started telling my story. And I said, look, I'm in pain. I'm going through this and this and this. I came from a structure like this my whole life. And, I need to heal and I need to find a way to heal other people. And I need to connect with Tony. So, and I said, I only have one shot and it's this one. Please don't take it away from me. So she was, very emotional with me. And she said, okay, get you to the doctor. You're going to get make the doctor, write you a letter saying she's okay to attend and come back here because you need to connect. So I went to the doctor, such a sweetheart. I was able to do it, came back, and like an hour or something later, Tony Robbins said the question. So who here is, really fucked up or struggling and, all of his ways of expressing. And, I stood up and it was like, okay, now I know who not to go to because you guys all want attention. I was like, gosh, man, I need to speak with him. And then he said, so who's suicidal? And one of my coaches that was with me, she said, stand up. And I did. I definitely, I was in a very emotional and sad moment of my life, but it was more of a desperation for hope, for answers. And so as I stood up, it was everything that I thought it would be, because immediately Tony Robbins has a very specific way of and using his techniques and helping people. And when I spoke with him, I said, I just want to speak with his soul, because, even me going back and watching it, I'm like, wow, I don't even look like myself, because it was almost like I just immediately connected with my soul. And it was just a conversation of souls at that moment. And when I connected with his soul, it was a feeling of there's no need for shame. There's no need for fear. There's no need to hide. I can just be me and talk about my pain and talk about things that I'm struggling with. And I knew he would understand. And I knew that he would even understand more than what words could express, because my feelings were so far more than what my words could express. So that was, that amazing moment when I finally got exactly what I had went there to get, and that moment with him. So it was pretty incredible.
Listeners, I've been working with Don now for 3 days, and, we've been going through the story and trying to make sure we say it clearly. And if you're listening and you're going to continue to listen as we go, one of the things we kind of came to a realization with this morning is in life, things don't necessarily come the way the whole plan works, but they come through an energetic way. And sometimes when we are arise with a situation, you just got to go. You got to keep going forward. And this is really an example of what happens. Like, she had one mission to get there and to make this happen, and she stuck with it. I mean, you heard like 3 tragedies just to get this to happen. And the universe will let it happen if you just go with it to the end.
Never give up. Yes.
Never give up. And again, as you hear more of the stories, you really you'll resonate with that more and more, and you'll see how powerful not only is Dawn, but that process. So, yeah. So getting the date, Dusty, you got there, you got a chance to talk to Tony, and obviously the emotions were there, and everybody saw that on the movie. And I cried 3 times, and I may even cry in this video. Who knows? But that was just a small part of the intervention. I mean, it was obviously a much more in-depth situation. The movie only shows some of the parts. Tell us more about really what happened. Yes.
Well, the whole intervention from beginning till end was, I could express just a soulful interaction with everyone, not only with Tony, with every single person that was in the room. And to me, that was the most beautiful, amazing experience of my life. To me, that was the date with destiny. I really had a date there, and I saw that was amazing, and everyone's love and everyone's just pouring out their soul for me was beautiful. And, the whole intervention for me was really interesting because, like you said in the video, it just had a little part, but I stood up there not only for myself. I came from a commune of so many people that had lived, very similar situations, other, worse than others, but all of them, we all had to go through so much mental, emotional, physical manipulation and abuse in every single way. And for me, my own cure of after leaving these communes and understanding myself and understanding the truth between everything had to come at peace with recognizing the good that I had lived in these communes, because nothing we can throw away in life. Understanding the good that I had lived, but also understanding that the bad things that happened in the name of love, in the name of God, in the name of good, it was okay for me to admit that it wasn't okay, that it wasn't right. And I felt, because I've been speaking with so many friends and family people, and when I say family, I say all of us, because we all came from the same commune, we all experienced the same things. And for me, it was a very, very important moment to stand up not only for myself. I was not standing up there for me. I was standing up there and being the voice for so many other people that may never had the opportunity to speak, may never have the opportunity to really admit to themselves that it wasn't okay, the bad things that we lived. It wasn't okay, everything that we went through, and that we're not throwing it away, but we're recognizing it, and then we're finding a way to heal, to forgive, so that we can use everything that we went through to bring value and to help other people. And so sorry.
In this commune, one thing I think you've told me the story before because I've been to you before, but you did mention, like, you didn't just have one mother, everybody was your mother and everybody was your children. So that might have been kind of like how because a lot of times you express that everybody's in your world, everybody's your family. And that's something maybe that you did learn that was positive from that experience. Maybe not, I'm just saying.
Yeah, also, I mean, in the commune, there was a lot of, there was a concept of a big family. Everyone, it's not just one individual family. Everyone is your family. Everyone is your brothers and sisters, and we all look out for each other and love each other. But in the same time, as much as everyone also fought for each other, also everyone experienced similar situations and similar things that were hurtful. Right. And so when I stand up for the people I love, it's in a bigger context, of all the people that have, gone through things that we went through. And I know that the documentary focuses a lot about the sexual abuse, but, one thing I stand up for is something that is so much more damaging, which is the spiritual pain, which comes from the mental abuse of using the good and mixing it up with bad. And then you don't know anymore where to go to, what to believe, where, you just don't. It's like Tony said, which I loved what he said, you went through spiritual pain. And it wasn't only me. So many of us went through so much spiritual pain of not understanding what life really was about, because the only thing that brings us hope, which is our faith, is now so mixed up with so much, wrong concepts and, so many distorted ways of seeing God, of seeing love, of seeing sexuality, of seeing purity, and all of the rest. And so for me, that was really important, being able to express it. Obviously, I didn't express it, everything I would like to express in that little moment, because for me, it was just a moment of, I need to take this out. I need to talk about it. I need to, for myself and for others, say it's okay to not be happy with what happened, to hurt, but it's also okay to say, I need help. I also have something amazing because I've lived through all of that. I see life with other eyes, and I see life in a whole different way, that if I share that with other people, I can bring value. And so seeing how Tony reacted to that, and seeing how everyone in that room reacted towards everything I was saying to, saying about my life and my experiences, it was so impacting to me because it reminded me that yes, there's so many people out here that have gone through so many crazy things in their life too, and different religions, and believe different things, but everyone was there, stripped away from all of those things, all of those layers that keep us distant from each other, and everyone just instantly connected to their soul and to their vulnerability and to their love and to their openness and to their truth. And it just became a really safe place where people would just come to me and just talk about things that they would never dare ever talking about, traumas, things they went through, and just come and say, this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened to me. And wow, I let it go. I liberated it today. Thank you for permitting me to be free. And so that was amazing. That was truly, truly amazing. And I just wish that, in some way I can continue and in this movie to do that, to liberate others when we live in our truth, when we live in our light, when we live in our soul, we're able to help others do the same. And so that was life-changing.
What's funny is I'm not sure if you've seen a movie like this, but what's coming to my mind right now is like there's some movies out there that have like all these beings all standing up, and they're kind of like in Tony Robbins' room, there's all these people and they're standing up and there's these beings and they're all looking at this energy that's like, and they're all connecting. And I'm almost feeling like that was the experience. Like there's all these people that were on an equal higher state of mind, communicating at another level and being open. And there's all this energy going up and exchanging and sharing. I'm just seeing this like visualization of this. So
it really was. I remember even a moment, I just was so filled with so much love. Like I opened my eyes and I just looked up into the sky and I just said like, thank you, God. And it was just this amazing feeling of, wow, if we could live in a world where we operate in this level of energy and the level of the soul, the world would be just an amazing place to live in. And so, it really was beautiful.
And it can. Yes. You and I have had conversations for hours in the last couple of days, and I've had many of my guests I talk to, we try to get on that higher level, and people can get on that higher level if they just allow it, right? You allowed that. So moving on here, there's some other great stuff that happened, and you were aligned with some different people, and Tony has reached out and said he would be part of your life and so on and so forth. And I understand all these people have a busy lifestyle, and you've got a busy lifestyle. Obviously, you got a lot going on. You moved to California and different things. How did all that play out with the uncles and Tony, and how did all that work out? I mean,
yes,
it's crazy because I don't even know. Tony's such a busy man. I just saw a documentary on him, like he's flying around the world everywhere. I mean, obviously there's many other people in his life.
Yes. Well, for me, after Date with Destiny, it was a very interesting way that life started to guide things. Because obviously, when I left there, it was that emotions. Wow, I got 3 uncles, and Tony Robbins is going to help me in this new project, and and then out of going into this event with no expectations, only just to speak with him, I left with a billion expectations, right? Wow, I'm going to have this thing, support and my uncles and everything. And, life sometimes is not always the way we imagine it to be. Thank God, because, many times life doesn't gives us what we want, but what we need. And so leaving there, I spoke a little bit with, Chloe Madanes, and, she helped me a little bit with my projects and my book. But later, she has a very specific method that is not really mine. And I think that's the amazing thing is we connect with people, and everyone has a different method and a different way to coach and help people. And I think it's so important for you to find yours, feel comfortable with yours, and also have the conviction to really direct yours in the right path. And, that method wasn't exactly mine, but I really, really, really appreciate all her love and support of, the calls that we had and everything that we spoke about together. And, Tony Robbins too, I feel like that moment was very divine guided. Later I did not have much contact with Tony Robbins after that. Like you said, he is a very, very
Busy
busy
person.
person and has been, dealing and helping with people
All over the
all
world.
over the world all the time. Who am I to be like, give me, give me, give me, give
Yeah.
me attention all the time, right? Everyone has to do their job, and mostly we're here to contribute and help others. And I feel like in the beginning, I did feel very disappointed and, oh, why I wasn't able to connect anymore. And I didn't have much connection with my uncles either. And, in the beginning, I felt really, I did feel really disappointed. But then it was so good because it brought me back to
Your
you
mission.
have everything within you to go out there and help and support and enlighten and bring love. That's your message. No one can say that for you. No one can even teach you that. That's something that comes from your experiences, from things you lived. And it just reminded me that you don't need a guru, or you don't need a big leader now to guide you through your path. You need to listen to what you went to Date with Destiny for. I went there to see a person in their mission, to see that there was love out there and it was authentic and real. And because I was able to connect with that and see, wow, it is possible. Yes, now I can look back and say it's possible. I can do the same thing. I can keep on fighting for that, and I can change the world my way, with my story, with my love. And so it, sometimes it doesn't play out the way we imagine it to, but it definitely plays out how it's supposed to. And that's what gives me more and more strength now, is to keep on following my path and following everything that I lived and everything I believe, and contribute the best way possible.
Don, I strongly feel that you have another date with Destiny with Tony someday, face to face, and your energy is very powerful. You're so positive. You're so loving, and I think it's all clear to everybody in that movie that you guys touched each other, and you have another
Yes.
level that you talk about. He even explained that you are on a certain level of connection, and I'm excited to hear about the conversation that's going to have in the future when you're both in the same room and you're doing just what he's doing, and you're changing lives the way he is, right?
Yeah.
In your own way, right? So
Yeah. Yes, for sure. I'm really thankful also with this documentary, because it's a way that, in the most vulnerable moment of my life, I would have never imagined it was, going to be shared with the world. But in a way, my dream came true, to be able to impact people from all over the world and help them through my story, which is through my vulnerability for just that moment. And so for that also, I'm really grateful.
Yeah. So there was some money talked about in the movie too. We wanted to kind of help clarify that.
Yes.
Let's definitely share with people that in the movie they were talking about how she had gotten $100,000, and I'll let you explain from here.
Yeah. Yes. Well, that actually got me as a surprise when I went to go see the documentary for the first time, the premiere. I saw that come up. I was like, oh, wow. Okay, that would be great. Because, obviously I have a lot of projects getting together and really needing support and help. But I think there was some lack of communication. That money, it didn't come to me, or I think it was a lot of really good intentions. But what did happen was it was so amazing, of all the people at Date with Destiny were so touched about my story that they all got together and said, we want to give her back her furniture. We want to help her get her things back. So they made like a PayPal, and everybody that was at the Date with Destiny raised up $30,000 to help me get back all my things, and was what really helped me get myself into structured again, and start my projects in the United States. Was I moved there this year, and was a really great support for me. So that is I'm so grateful for all the love, and I just really want to thank everyone. But
That is amazing.
The $100,000. I think it was a miscommunication.
Yeah, and that's okay. 30,000 is very blessed, and it really helped you a lot.
Yes.
And again, a good shout out to those people. You're beautiful people for doing that for her, and I'm happy you did, and she's very grateful as well. I hear it all the time from her. She's very grateful about that. So
Yes.
Okay, so we just want to have that clarified because everybody's like, oh, she got $100,000. She should be on top of the world and this and that. She's got a jet now and she's flying around. She's got a spaceship and
No.
she's gonna be on the stage with Tony next week. And so a lot of that. Hopefully, we clarified all of that there.
Yes.
So let's see. Some other questions, Don. Is there any other questions that people have asked that we really need to make sure we cover here today that are on your docket?
Yes. So I've received many questions. I'm going to pick and choose some. There's one that a lot of people ask, which I think is amazing because it's something I also want to talk about, which is how do I see men and how's my relationship with men nowadays?
Right.
And, really, Date with Destiny, it was really funny because when I was speaking with Tony, like I said before, he saw things and noticed things and felt things that I didn't even say. And at that moment when he picked my uncles, he said, I want you to look in their eyes and immediately be able to find trust even in a stranger. And internally, I was thinking, okay, how am I going to do that? I don't trust men, much less a man and a stranger. So, I was looking out and all of a sudden, everybody's eyes there was no more man or woman. It was soul. It was the purity and the beautiful, love and sincerity of the soul. And so it was so easy to pick them out. And, if I could, I would have picked the whole room, literally, because everybody was in that soul level. And so leaving that, the event, it was really a reminder to me that when we connect in that level, in a soulful level, there we can find trust. There we can find real, true love. And when there's sincerity, when you're open, when you're, vulnerable and you permit others to do the same, because my uncles and everyone was in that vulnerable state. Everyone was crying and talking about their life, and there was nothing hiding, no fear, no one wanting to use each other to get somewhere. No, it was just the pure beautifulness of our soul. And so since then, I've noticed in myself and how I relate not only to men but everyone in my life is offering to them a soulful level so that I can receive back a soulful level. And then there's amazing connection, both with men and women, just the most amazing connection. So my relationship with men have been amazing, with women has been amazing, because I came to really start to connect with people in a higher level. And so, yeah, it's been really, really good. And one thing that I talk a lot about in my course, which it's about how I got to that process, because there also was the before of cleansing myself, of really forgiving, because forgiving it's part of who you are as a soul, and if you don't get to that point, you won't be able to get to the other point. So there's a long journey towards it. Different than Tony, I feel like more than just one. You can take one step to change your life, but it really is also a long journey towards healing yourself, dealing with your personal demons, going through the process, which I went through and I'm still going through, and I think we never stop. Right. But it's definitely got to a point that I'm very happy with, and that I want to share with everyone, which is I'm going to talk a lot more about it in my course.
So what going forward now? I mean, now you've experienced this moment in your life that's now given you continued fuel, and I think you already had the fuel even before that. It was pretty obvious that you sold your things, and you were making stuff happen before the event, and now your fire is getting bigger. You've got more going on. A lot of people are reaching out. I mean, we've just put this on Facebook for 2 days, and we've already got like 200 or 300 people that have signed up to learn more about this right here. What's going to happen going forward with Dawn? What do you, besides your courses? Is there a goal of reaching a certain amount of people? Is there a goal of helping people understand that unlock for forgiveness?
Yes. Well, I think for a year now, I've been really focusing on putting out everything I have within into my book, into ways that I can really bring value to people. I feel that I have so much to say. The documentary is nothing compared to everything that is still within me. And so I still have that feeling of there's so much more I need to put out. And that's what I've been working a lot on my book and my projects, and finding ways that I can really empty myself of everything that I've lived, experienced, gone through, so that I can bring true value to everyone. There are a lot of passions that I have, and one of them is, to help people that have gone through cults that I have gone through. Either if it's, people that have gone through mental and spiritual manipulation and abuse. Those are things that are very, 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 I'm very passionate about. And so I've been working a lot in courses and things that I can be able to bring value to people through that. Also, of women, of how to find your self-worth and how to love yourself and how to connect with your soul. And so, that's another thing I'm also very passionate about. But so far it's been a lot of personal digging, and I feel like now I'm really trying to find support so I can get my word out, so I can get stages and go to places and be in environments where I can share everything that for these past years I've been just putting out and processing it.
Let me ask you this. I mean, obviously we're in a instant gratification world. Okay. So obviously you've spent years on your healing journey, healing process. Is there a shortcut that you've developed or learned from this that you could share to help people who are going through the same? I mean, everybody's going through similar things with this, including myself. I am learning an amazing amount, and we talked about that in the drive, on my drive here to do this interview. Is there like some decision moment that said, how do I begin this healing process? And maybe is there some ways that you can help people shorten that pain period, that process from all what you've done?
Well, one thing that really, really inspired me is, I don't believe there's a lot of shortcuts, first of all. I feel like it is a journey, and we have to respect that. But there is things that really, really impacted me in a huge way, that my life was never the same after those things. And one of them was when I saw a video of Miles Monroe, and he said, for you to find your purpose in life, you have to find something that you truly hate, because only something you truly hate, you will change. And you're here in this earth to change that. And I thought, like, energetically, wow, that was really impacting to me, because at that moment I had a lot of things I hated. But if we just stay in the hating zone of I can't stand abuse, this happened to me, I can't stand this, or myself, coming out from the communes, and I had a lot of hate and a lot of anger, and putting myself as the victim of all of these bad things. But I thought, wow, if I can get all of this that I hate, that happened to me and that happened to others, and I hate injustice, I hate abuse, I hate mental manipulation, I hate it. So how can I get that? And now, you know what? I'm in this earth to change that. I'm in this world to transform that and help other people. And so that instantly brought me purpose. So it brought me from a moment of being a victim in pain to a new me of, wow, I'm in this earth to change that. So that gave me mission, that gave me purpose, and that brought me healing. Because, wow, if I went through all of this, it was to serve. So it had a meaning, it had a purpose. It didn't happen just in vain. And I think that is a really, really powerful thing for everyone that is going through difficulties or had gone through really difficult things in their lives, to go back and say, okay, this happened for a reason. It wasn't okay what happened. It was painful, but it happened and I hate it. But how can I now use this to bring value to first myself and love myself, and then to other people? And when we find a mission and a purpose, our life has a whole different new aspect to it. I found so much joy. I found so much playfulness and happiness, and my life truly changed when purpose came into my life.
Awesome. This is awesome. I appreciate you. This is just great that you're sharing all this with us. And,
Yeah.
and if there's one thing I've learned, it's like we were talking about before, is, we have this idea of how things are supposed to work, and there are people involved sometimes, and we tend to put blame or victim in the row of that, in the way of that. But we really shouldn't be looking at things as a him, her, this victim thing. We should be thinking as a whole universal perspective, where
Yes.
it's just, these are roles that are being played, and these people aren't the ones that influence. It's the universe that does the influence. So it's pushing you in these different directions to make the decisions you need to go forward. And I think really looking from afar and looking at that's really how you take the approach and how you've gotten to where you've gotten now. Because people like myself and people like watching the video go, oh my God, I could never, ever go through what she went through, or I could never, ever sell all my stuff and know that when I come home, I have nothing. So I'm going to this journey, to this event, and I come home and I'm going to have nothing. And you had so much faith and so much universal focus. I'm not sure if that's a great word, but universal focus, like a higher focus, that it prepared you for coming back by going there to the next part of your journey. It gave you the gifts, it gave you the process, it gave you the tools to go forward. And when you came home, obviously you were able to buy your stuff back. So the true hardcore, maybe the true divine focus sets your path for you. And I think that's really what we're hearing from you today, that people should get out of this, is that the divine focus that you have. If you have complete high level focus, everything comes your way the way it needs to come.
Yeah. And I think really understanding of where is your value, because in that moment, my value wasn't in my things. My value wasn't in the stability. My value has never been in my stability. It's always been in, how can I be able to live this life in a way that I can, reach the best version of myself in every area. And I've done, for years and years and years, I've done a lot of soul digging, because there's where my value is. If I can understand myself, if I can love myself, then I can do the same for others. And I think that when we all understand and put our values in the right place, like, what is really important? Is it money? Is it stability? Is it this? No, or is it, what, I want to be a better person. I want to heal. I don't want to be someone that is suffering or carrying around pain with me for years and years and years. And today I have money, I have a structure, I have everything, but I'm still in pain. And I think that's the worst thing we can have. So if we concentrate of, how can I take away this pain? How can I use this pain? How can I understand this pain and help others, and then liberate myself and others? And then all the rest is amazing. Riches will come, house will come, things will come, but put what is most important in first place. And that's what I've been trying to do my whole life, is put in first place what matters the most. And that's love. And so if we can all find it in ourselves and in others, life is amazing.
Yeah. It is amazing. So, yeah. Dawn, there are people in your life now. Who are some of the angels in Brazil that are helping you and helping you grow out there as you live there now? And how about the angels in America? And who are these people? Is there any angels out there for you?
Well, there's definitely thousands and thousands and thousands of angels. I've been receiving the most amazing messages from people all over the world that have sent me so much love and trusted me with their truth and stories they've gone through on their transformation. And they're my angels also, because they remind me every day that this is exactly what I want to do. Because sometimes when you get out there and you speak about your truth, you're going to have people criticizing you. I've received also many messages of people saying, you're just inventing, you're trying to call attention. I realize that, wow, when we put ourselves out there, we're going to receive a lot of things that are going to also hurt us or misjudge us. But all these other messages remind me, and they're my angels, they really, really remind me that it's so worth it. Because the love and trust that I've been receiving from people, from strangers that I don't even know, but they're so angels in my life, that also I want them to know that they have encouraged me. Because I'm, at this moment, I'm also going through a really difficult moment in my life. I left everything to go move to the United States and start my new life there and, start my projects and everything. But because of some complications, I got sent back and wasn't even able to go back. And, my book wasn't completed and everything. My life really got in a pause. And I, was really going through a very, very difficult moment of not being able to go back, get any of my things. And, being in a tiny little town in Brazil, trying to refigure, where's my life going to go now? What am I going to do? And it was just a reminder that it doesn't matter where you are, as long as there is the need, you're here to serve. And seeing that in a certain way, I'm being able to touch people all over the world, not being, even being in this tiny little city, the word is out there. People are being connected. People are being touched. People are being transformed. And so they remind me that, wow, my dream is really coming true. And I also have people like Sun Mary, which you interviewed her. She is an amazing beautiful soul. She has been actually, called me. She lives over here, and she said, come stay with me, stay with my family. I want to love you and support you through this process. And she is also just a beautiful angel. She's been one of my coaches also throughout my whole process. And, my family, the people I love that have also always been there for me and that, are my heroes too. Not all of them, I know that in the interview, a lot of things got misjudged also, not my whole family, when I went to express myself, I was in a very emotional state, but, a lot of my family have been amazing after everything they've gone, many things that they went through weren't similar to mine, but, they've been such amazing, beautiful souls that coming out from a cult that we lived in, and now trying to reconstruct their life and influence people in their own way and in their own lives. My mother, she's a complete hero. She's the most amazing human being I've ever met because her capacity to love, that's what where I got it from, definitely, because she has the biggest heart in the universe. And she's definitely my angel and my brothers and, all of you. You're my angel, Dennis.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
please
You've been in my life too to help and support me, and all of you are just my guardian angels that I'm so thankful for.
Well, it's not just me; it's the whole 5 Minute Bark crew. All the guests are all reaching out and helping in their own way. And as I say, it's Team Cody Dog. We're a team. We're people helping each other. And I know you needed this interview, and that's why I'm doing it. And it's on behalf of everybody that's on my podcast, that listens to my podcast. So we're here to be here for you. So it's not just me. We're a collective.
Thank you.
We're a collective.
So thank you all Cody Dogs, everyone. 5 Minute Bark.
Yeah. So please give Sun Mary a hug for me. She's an amazing human being, and I did interview her, and actually she put off her interview so that we could do this interview here. So that's amazing as well too. So
yes.
One more thing that's really exciting is we've kind of talked about it a little bit, but you were kind of the chair, I'm not sure of the right word, but the movement. I'm trying to find the right word here.
It's okay.
It's not the hero, but it's like you're the person that's taking things to a new level in life, not only for the commune, but you're one taking charge, I guess, of going forward with this understanding and forgiveness. A lot of people are out there, and that's probably one of the biggest things that I struggle with is somebody betrays you, you got to understand that, and you're kind of taking charge of that movement.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. That's amazing. You're taking the reins on that, and obviously you've had to do a lot of understanding and forgiveness in your life, and we kind of talked about that in your last episode that we did. We go pretty deep into that, is how you went through the process of forgiving.
Yes. Well, I think a lot of it was getting to a point where I was tired of seeing so much pain all around me. And I came to a moment of, I need to rewind my brain from everything that I lived, through all the manipulation, from all the pain, from all the things that I don't understand. And we tend to judge very quickly some things that we can't understand. But instead of judging, I said, I don't want to judge. I want to be able to go back, relive it, now with the mind I have now, go back and try to understand, where was the root? What happened? Why, did it happen this way? And So that was a very, very, it hurt a lot to go back, because we have the tendency of whatever hurt us, we want to forget, we want to close that door, we want to move forward. But a lot of times we cannot move forward if we don't go back to that pain and understand why it was in our life. Because I believe that pain is in our life not to drive us away from ourselves, but to bring us closer to ourselves and dig deeper, because only digging deeper is where love is, forgiveness is, and the languages of the soul, right? So that's what I started to do, is begin to dig into the past of my commune and to the past of everything of the people that lived there. And it was mind blowing to me, because a lot of it that, things that I always brushed away, and I heard other people say, oh, don't go back, don't read that, don't listen to that. I went back and said, no, I want to see with my own eyes. I want to read it. I want to relive it. And by doing that, I started to rewind my brain and understand, like, wow, a lot of things weren't right. A lot of things were really, really wrong, but I learned it was right. But, those discoveries were very, very interesting, and also very good for myself, because they helped me understand, and I said, I think nothing can be thrown away. This part of my life cannot be thrown away. This part of my life is me. It's part of me. I lived it. But I'm understanding it now. I'm understanding the processes. I'm being able to, go back and relive it and see how I see nowadays. And so that was really, really good. And it got me to the point of where I am today and where I was at Date with Destiny, of recognizing the pain, but at the same time, not throwing everything away, but seeing, letting others know that it's okay to recognize that certain things were not okay,
Yeah, absolutely.
Because our whole lives, we couldn't have that. We couldn't say, okay, this wasn't okay. Oh no, this was love, this was this, and, doctrinated so much, brainwashed so much, but also by saying it's not okay, you're not throwing it away. You're not saying, oh, this is all completely bad and, just living in that negative side. You're getting into a moment of understanding. And when you get to that moment of understanding, then you can let go and forgive, because you don't even need to forgive, because you're ready for, like, wow, no one's a victim. No one's doing this out of, hate between each other. We're just doing this because we're all hurt. We're all trying to discover ourselves, and when you see that, there's no way to enter into a state of judgment. You just see that we all need to understand each other. We're all going through pain.
Awesome. That's awesome. I mean, wow. Taking a breath on that one. I mean, because, we always, like, I mean, I guess one more quick question is, do you give yourself a chance to, like, rant about it? Like, okay, just get it all out, and then now go into the process of forgiveness and understanding.
Yes,
okay,
definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. And I think ranting about it is putting it out there. It's almost like, stop trying to hide it, put it in the mirror, look at it, talk about it, write it down. That's something I always did. Write. This happened to me, this, and it hurt me, and I didn't like it. And when we write it down, when we look at it, it's almost like we're taking the power away from it. Yep. And then when you're taking the power away from it, then you're like, wow, it's not controlling me. I can control it. I can see it. I can realize it. And then I can love it too. And I can forgive it, and I can let it go, and I can liberate it. Then it's in your hands. It's not controlling you. That pain is not part of you anymore. It happened to you.
Right.
And so, but definitely until today, things happen, and I'm like, I don't understand this. Why is life doing this to me? But then I'm like, okay, how can, what is this? I want to understand this. I want to go through this. I want to, write about it. And then it comes out, and, like, the truth, when you put it to the light, it's beautiful, because it's out there. You can see it. It's no more hidden. It's no more, in a space where you can't connect to it.
Right. Awesome. So are we catching all the questions that we have on that list? I have a few here that they were combined with others that I have on my list here.
Yes.
But I think I've covered all the ones I have on my end that we've gotten from people. And again, we've had over a couple hundred people now sign up for this interview, and I'm sure a couple hundred more will be coming on board. We do want to thank everybody for your attention to this and wanting to hear her story. It's it's been a 3-day journey, actually 4-day journey for me, and a longer journey for you, of course. But we are thankful, and Dawn is very thankful, and obviously taking 4 days of her time to try to answer the questions from the movie. And any last words, Dawn?
Yes, I just want to say one more thing, which is for all of those people that have sent me messages wanting to support and help me, I'm super, super grateful. And all the support and help right now is amazing. I do have this course that I'm going to be putting out. My book got a little bit of a pause because it was, it stayed back there and I have a lot of things going on. But I definitely would appreciate any type of support. All I want to do is be able to go out there and let my voice be, seen and heard, and find ways that I can greater impact people. And for all of you that really do want to help and support me right now, doing this course would be amazing because it's a way that I can share it with you, all of the things I lived and more of my story. It's kind of like my book in more of an interview way, and sharing my experiences and lessons. And it's also a way to help support me in my journey now towards getting this message out and impacting more people. So I want to send all my love to every one of you. I really, really appreciate all the support. Thank you, Dennis, for this interview. I'm also super thankful for it. And yes, please contact me. I'm here to serve all of you with whatever you need. And I believe that together we can help change the vibration of this world, where we can operate in a soulful level and imagine how beautiful that will be. And so that's my mission. And whoever wants to join me, please, the more the merrier. We need help.
Yes, at watson.codydog.com. You can get there. And the course is only $19 this time. So obviously it's just a pre-release. We're working at it, still working at it. So pieces will be coming out at a time. And also you can join her private Facebook group for $47. So it's basically your way to help her, and she's going to help you in return. She doesn't want to just take money from people. So we're trying to offer something that's very reasonable on both ends. So again, go to watson.codydog.com and you can look there for the course. It's only $19. And the private Facebook group is $47, so you can upsell to that if you want. So it's up to you. No pressure, but you can actually just put yourself on the mailing list, and we may be doing more of these interviews as time goes on. So awesome. And I think they have to open the store again here soon behind us. I see people coming back in. So everybody, we send you love and we appreciate your attention. And Dawn, thank you again.
Thank you so much. Mwah. Lots of love and light to everyone. You just got it. Yeah. No, I feel so much peace. You have no idea how I feel right now. Oh my God, I feel so good. Amazing. It's like the world has been taken off of my back right now. Oh my gosh. I mean, of all the people, that just blah, 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 you went there and you really stuck and did it. And for that, I admire you so much, because there's so little people out there that really do what they talk. And I'm really thankful, really, really thankful from my heart.
You're watching the 5 Minute Bark podcast on YouTube. If you like this episode, you just may like many more. Subscribe today by clicking the red subscribe button in the top right-hand corner.